Hey everybody, so glad you could join me today. I had some leftover applique practice images that I had done, and I decided to turn it into a pattern which I call my happy tote bag. And it's a really cute pattern on my Etsy shop, and you can make this tote bag. Now, it does not come with the embroidery. Nope, you're only getting the digital pattern. Once again, this was just me practicing with embroidery, learning how to use my embroidery machine. So I think this could be a very cute, take anywhere. If you don't want to carry a big heavy purse, you got a nice tote bag here. It's really nice and durable. And this, you could actually throw it in the washing machine 100%. So it's a super cute tote bag. Got the square box bottom. As usual, we love those bottoms because, they give your bags depth. And it's really nice. I think you're going to like this one. This is super easy to make. The straps, the bag, you're going to do an exterior and an interior side. And I think you'll be real happy with this bag pattern. This is a really good bag pattern for beginners. It's real easy and it won't take a whole lot of time to do. So let's get started. Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to make this super cute, this is what I call my happy tote bag. And I'll show you why it's happy. And I've already printed it, printed the pattern, cut it out. And I'm just going to show you what the pattern looks like. So if you watch any of my other videos, this is actually like 2 sheets of 8.5 by 11 paper, and you tape your pattern together where it tells you to. Now, if you want to make a 2-tone bag, you can cut it in half here. This can be one color fabric, that can be another. Why I'm making this happy tote bag? Because when I was practicing embroidery, I ended up using some embroidery. I made some embroidery designs and they were so nice, but I did them on scraps. So I said, oh, what can I do with these? So this is just a pretty little image of a woman in a beautiful skirt, and it's really nice applique. And on the back, this was me freehand quilting, so, but still with embroidery, and that's fine. So obviously on the insides, I need to tear away this stabilizer. I'll take that off later. And because this fabric is, what is that? This fabric is a little bit thin, but it's good for embroidery. I know it has a little stain on it. I'm not going to worry about that right now. I just want to show you how to make a simple tote bag. So once again, the pattern is going to tell you, you're going to cut these little sections out. And for the inside of this bag, because it was not this fabric is really thin, I'm using a heavier grade canvas, so it'll give the bag some shape, and you'll see what I mean. So I'm going to go over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to stitch my 2 right sides together, as we usually do, because this will form the outer casing of this particular tote bag. And I want this to be a tote bag, not a drawstring bag, because I still want you to be able to see the image on the front. So we're going to stitch all the way down. Make sure you line up your bottom edges here. You're going to stitch across and you're going to stitch back up. That'll be the exterior part of the bag. Then you've got your 2 inside pieces of your bag. Same thing. Stitch here, stitch there, stitch there. And this is going to be the inside of your bag. So I'm going to take this over to the sewing machine, do that, and I will be right back. Okay, so now you can see I stitched all along the edge here, the bottom, made my box corners. Same thing, stitch right sides together, stitch all along, stitch all along this edge, then across the bottom, and then make your little box corners and stitch across. So now I'm going to put the 2 right sides together and just pull that inside out. Poke, poke, poke. Remember, don't forget to leave a little opening in the bottom so you can flip the bag inside out. And two right sides together. Gonna get it in there. This is one of my small size tote bags. So I think it's pretty cool. So got my arm all the way in there. I'm gonna just line these edges up. Okay, now I got my edges lined up, sort of. Okay, now this sometimes happens, and it may have been me, but I cut the inner lining too long. And before we stitch this bag all up, I need to go ahead and make the tote strap handles. Yeah, okay. So I have 2 strips, the length that I want the handles to be. And remember, this is gonna be a small tote bag. You could make the strap longer and then it's more like a crossbody bag. So this is approximately 5 inches wide by, let's see, how long did I do that? By 16.5 inches long. So those are gonna be decent sized handles. So remember, I'm gonna go over to the ironing board and I'm gonna press these handles, press it in half. We fold it to the center, fold it to the center, fold it again, iron it, and stitch on both edges. I will show you that again in one quick second. Let me go over to the iron machine, press it all down, then I'll come back and we'll start to stitch it. Okay, once again, remember, leave an opening in the bottom of the bag, because when you attach this inner lining to your outer lining, you've got to flip it all inside out. Now, I went ahead and made the 2 handles for the bag. And remember, these are 5 by 16 inches long. But what we did, you fold them in half. Sorry, fold it in half. Then fold it in half again. And now you're going to stitch along both edges. And then we'll do that. Then we'll attach it to the bag and we're almost done. Okay, so now I have stitched along both sides and I have my tote bag handles. Cool. So what I'm going to do, make sure they're straight, and I want them to be towards the front of the bag. So, okay, oh, in a perfect world, what you would do is measure where your center point is. Okay, so this is 10 inches, so 5 is there. So 5, 3 and 6. So I'm gonna center this. I'm gonna eyeball it, but you might want to measure it. So I'm just gonna slide these handles. Remember, this is a tote bag inside. So I'm gonna put one there. This material is pretty thick, so I'm gonna use quilting clips. So I want one to go there, and I want the other one to be right about here. Need some more clips. Ah! What did I do with all the clips? Ah, 2 more. Okay, so that's that strap. So now I'm gonna put this one in. Just gonna slide it in here. I'm actually gonna line it up with the ones that are already, that I just clamped down. And make sure they're straight. And put that in there. Okay, so little tote bag, here we come. So you can see that, they're there, they're in. Now, remember, we got our bag lining. And remember, I used a sturdier canvas cotton material because I want the bag to have some strength to it. And I'm gonna basically just slide this inside between the handles, and definitely try not to knock them loose. I probably could have done this before I put the handles in, but let me get that handle. Okay, so now I'm just gonna slide that all down in there. Now, once you've got the bag lining on the inside, scooch it all the way down and got to come up a little bit. You want to line up your center, your seams right there. Now, remember, I told you I did something wrong when I cut this out. It's not anything wrong with the pattern, but I had actually cut the inner lining a little too long. So I'm just gonna trim off a pinch. You don't have to do this part. Thread everywhere. But I'm just gonna cut off a little bit. Okay, yeah, I just cut it a little too long. So now it lines up. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna line up these edges, and actually I'm gonna go ahead and use this to help me. And you wanna make sure you don't have puckers. And gonna line that up right there. Boom. Okay, make sure these edges here, these center points, line up. And now I'm going to take it over, and the other ones as well, and I'm going to take it over to the sewing machine. I'm going to stitch all the way around the top, then we'll turn it inside out. We'll close up the interior bag lining, and this bag will be done. So let me get to it. Okay, so clean up our work area. So now we have 2 bags. It looks like a hot mess. So I'm gonna go ahead and reach inside this little pocket here. I'm gonna grab opening, and I'm gonna pull the other bag through. And there we go. Hello, little tote bag. And we just wanna open this part back out, because we need to close up the seam in the bottom. Because remember, that seam was how we pulled all of this through. And there are other ways to do this. Tons of videos on the internet on how to do that. So you can basically just kind of take your sewing machine, or you can hand stitch this and close up the bottom. Got extra thread there. So just stitch that closed and you'll be fine. Then go ahead, put it inside your original bag. And just push all that down. Bada bing, bada boom. Okay, there. Yeah, and just kind of take your hand and just even it out on the bottom. Fix that a little bit, poke that out. And ta-da! All done. Wow, that came out really nice. It's a nice little tote day bag, lots of room. You could put all kinds of stuff in here. Oh yeah, don't forget, you need to do 1 stitch all the way around the top of the bag, and it is done. Once again, remember, this was just taking some scraps. Not scraps, but some leftover practice fabric I had, and I made a really cute tote bag, and I call this the Happy Tote Bag. You can call it something else. Remember, you can make these straps longer and have a crossbody bag. You don't have to do an embroidery or an applique on it. You can put whatever you want on it. Thank you for watching, and if you have questions, let me know. You can get this pattern. This is the Happy Tote Bag pattern on my Etsy shop. Thanks for watching. Bye.